Welcome back, Cowboys Nation, and welcome to another edition of Cowboys Nation Report. I'm here, fired up, ready to dive deep into where we are, where we've been, and where we're going. The star helmet isn't just a logo, it's a legacy. It stands for expectation, for excellence, but also for resilience. And right now, that resilience is being tested and being built. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys have a chance, a real chance, to redefine the narrative. Let's start by setting the scene. Injuries have pounded Dallas this season. The secondary has been a weak point. The passing game of our defense has surrendered too many yards. The team's depth got shredded. But now, after the grind of the early schedule and a bye week that offered both rest and reflection, there is new light on the horizon. Rookie cornerback Shavon Revel Jr., a third-round pick out of East Carolina, is trending toward his NFL debut in Week 11. Coach David Overstreet II has raved about his passion, his energy, his hunger. What I want to see from Vaughn is go out there and play with the energy that he has and a love for the game he has, Overstreet said. This dude is always on my coattails, asking me stuff. His passion and eagerness is magnetic. That's huge. That tells you this isn't just about get him on the field. It's about culture. It's about what he brings into the building, into the room, into every practice rip. Because when you're rebuilding, you don't just need athleticism, you need attitude. Revel's journey is compelling. He was once considered a borderline first-round talent, but a torn ACL in 2024 cost him time and dropped him down to the third round. The Cowboys were patient. They believed in the talent, they waited, they rehabbed, they planned. And now, that window is opening. The kid's knee is right, he's ready, he is no longer just a prospect, he is a piece. What does his arrival mean for the secondary and for the team as a whole? It means hope. It means reinforcement. The Cowboys' pass defense has been weak this season, ranked near the bottom in passing yards allowed after 9 games. When you are giving up big chunks through the air, when you're defending with one arm tied behind your back, everything else in your game must pick up. Your run fits must get tighter. Your front seven must generate pressure. Your third down conversions must drop. Enter a rookie with length, speed, physicality, and a fostered hunger. That matters. But remember, football is never just about one player. The great teams stack up reinforcement after reinforcement. The Cowboys know this. They're getting healthy. Safeties Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker, linebacker DeMarvion Overshown, all trending toward returns. The window for change is here. And Revel is not just a signal of change, he's a catalyst. Let's talk a bit about what this defense might begin to look like. When you add a corner like Revel, you force opponents to respect your coverage. You force them to throw somewhere else. You force them to make tighter reads. The secondary becomes less of a liability and more of a strength. Combine that with the investments Dallas has made in the front, trades, upgrades, and you begin to edge toward balance. If the offense remains elite, and it is, then the defense simply must stop bleeding all the time. Yes, it's fair to say there are still risks. Revel is still getting acclimated. The injury history looms. The depth chart has holes. But the mood in Dallas is shifting. The narrative is no longer purely of injury, of what's missing, of what we lost. The narrative is moving toward what we are gaining and what we can become. And for you, the fan in front of the screen, this is your moment. Because when a rookie full of fire enters the mix, when the veteran defenders return, when the defense begins to stabilize, everything changes. The way you watch matters. The way you cheer matters. The way you believe matters. Because when you believe, the guys inside that locker room feel it. They hear it. They carry it. Let's wrap it up. The Dallas Cowboys, battered by injury, challenged by expectations, but never defeated in spirit. They are now entering a phase where the secondary gets a shot. A phase where the team might not just talk about turning the corner, but actually turn it. Shavon Revel Jr., with his hunger and readiness, give this corner group and this defense a shot in the arm. The inside runs deeper than any stat line. It becomes about identity and expectation. And the expectations are high because the star on the helmet demands it. So here's my call to you. What do you believe? Do you believe Revel's presence will elevate the secondary? Do you believe the defense is about to show life? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you're behind the stars, hit that like button. If you haven't yet, Subscribe to Cowboys Nation Report so you don't miss the breakdowns, the reactions, and the inside looks at where this team is headed. Because when the Cowboys rise, we rise with them. Go Cowboys!